Hello everyone, welcome back to WB Blacksmithing. Today we're going to be turning this normal size spike 6.5 inches long from the tip to the head here into a knife. It'll end up, if I had to guess, about 10 inches long overall. Let's get into it. Alrighty, for the video's sake, we're just going to do a really simple twist. Now you can do a whole bunch of different styles of twists, but basically we're going to go about 4.25 to 4.5 inches down the spike. Make sure you have a reasonable amount of heat. Doesn't have to be welding temperature or anything. But you're going to fit your twisting wrench to the spike, which is 5/8. Most spikes are 5/8 inch square stock in the shank section. We gotta do the main part of the twist there. Now if it's not completely straight, you can straighten it up by eye. And there we go. Pretty much all you do is just literally twist it. Eventually maybe I'll do videos on the different kinds of twists, but we'll see. Now twisting knocks off almost all the scale, so it's good to take a brush and get the scale that's loose off of there, so that way next heat, if you need to take another heat and straighten out the twist, that way more scale doesn't build up and you just have a whole bunch of scaly mess. You don't want that. So this twist looks really straight. Sometimes even the most experienced people can end up with a bent twist, but this one's really good, so let's get into the next step. Alrighty, so for this part, I usually use guillotine. You certainly don't have to, but it makes it a lot easier to get a really nice, even transition from the handle to the blade. So for a guillotine, you just stick it in there. With fullering dies, by the way, if you have flat dies, you can cause a really sharp transition, and then it just has an area where it can cause the blade to break off. So really a rounded over transition is better structurally. Now square shoulders might look really neat, but that kind of just sheer drop off from thick material to thin isn't very good. So we just go about halfway into the thickness of the material. So instead of 5/8, what would that be? 10/16, right? I think that's about what it would be. Doesn't have to be exact. There we go. Now for this part, we're going to start drawing the blade material out. So this is 5/8. For a lot of people starting out, this might feel thick, but I use a straight P on top of my horn. It really speeds it up. Let's make sure you can see the horn well. There you go. So we just start drawing it out towards the shoulder area first. Alrighty, for this heat, we're going to continue to shake the blade. Alrighty, now we're going to go ahead and shape this blade roughly Alrighty, now for starting the bevels, you go to the one where your face meets the step on a normal London pattern anvil. Alrighty, get a good hold, work my way up the bevels. Now you will notice I just said that you don't really have to force the other side, and that's true. I flip it over in order to be able to straighten the blade how it needs straightened exactly to a T. You don't really need to, I just find it easier to flip it over. If it's bent, say this way, it's easier to flip it over than that, like this, than it is to try to forge that flat in a way that doesn't really make sense. But if you're really moving your material, you don't really have to flip it over as long as your anvil has good rebound. And that's what the rebound's for, is so that the anvil works the opposite side of the steel than the side that you're hammering. Makes the work a lot easier. Doesn't really have anything to do with throwing your hammer back up in your face. There we go. Spike knives aren't meant to be super fancy, so it's not, really. We'll go ahead and finish this blade now. Alrighty guys, so some people will frown upon this and some won't. I guess you can wait and see the results if you don't really have an opinion. Alrighty, so we're about ready to quench this. Don't worry, that's not super quench or anything fancy. That's just muddy water from outside. But we're going to selectively quench this blade. Basically, we're just going to put the edge in to the water. Doesn't have to be anything fancy for these. Bit of a strength test. My 3-pound hardened Wahlberg forged hammer. Basically, there is no deformation. Actually, there is no deformation on the spine at all. Obviously, it didn't break, didn't bend. The edge is still just fine, aside from some dirt. See if we can get you a view here. Let me wipe this off here with my patented shirt rag. Hopefully you can see that. There's literally nothing wrong with it. Obviously this is just wood, so won't do much. But yeah, there you go. Spike knife. I don't know if that went all the way through yet or not. There we go. One time I had a guy at a craft show say that he had one and it broke off in a deer's leg. So, just clarifying, mine will not do that. I got a better setup here for you. Alrighty, she's in my 6-inch Peterite leg vise.
Let's see if I can. Yep. I'm gonna put it on there. It gets stuck. Oh, where'd my hammer go? Now it shouldn't be too hard to get out, so I split the wood. That's what I was trying to do. Oh man, the vise is the only thing holding this thing together. Holy crap. I'll get it in view. Yep. Let's go here. I'm gonna get a wrench. Twist this sucker out. There we go. Gotta get it lined up with the split. Oh. Okay, let's go to the anvil.
This is a treated 4x4, by the way. Hopefully you can see that. Just gotta go ahead and get this knife out. Pound her out of here. And there we go. Bam. Oh, dang it. I'm gonna break my dang thing. Tripod. So here we go. Good as new. So it's not gonna break off in a deer's leg. Still no edge damage. Wipe her off here again. Hopefully you can see that. So there you go. It's not bent or twisted. Obviously it's not broke. So there you go. It's the proof. Thanks for watching and subscribing. Bye.